we want this book in Jordan.
Yes,
So
we are doing that.
We are
First,
working.
we are
Yes.
working,
Yes.
Dr. Zidan. That is what we always have at with Professor Kotler as well. We call that global. We think globally, but we act locally. So that is why we are working with Dr. Zidan. My name is Marc Oliver Opresnik. I'm a distinguished professor of marketing and management at the University of Lübeck and a visiting professor to top-notch international business schools such as Judge Business School at the University of Cambridge or the Side Business School at the University of Oxford. I was just nominated to become global thought leader at the Academic Speakers Bureau at the London School of Economics and Political Sciences. And I'm also privileged and honored to be the global co-author to Professor Dr. Philip Kotler, Marketing Guru and Legend. And I've wrote altogether about 55 books on marketing, strategy, leadership. The latest one being Pivotal Strategy, the Marketing Infinity Canvas framework.
Thank you very much. Did you visit Middle East before?
Yes, several times. I've been to Dubai very many times, consulting several enterprises in the framework of social media marketing. So coming from the medical device companies such as Traeger or those kind of companies. Question. So we thought about that, Professor Kotler, Professor Hollensen, and myself. So what can we do to reinvent marketing, to give it another touch, in particular in today's world, which is driven by AI and disruption, of course, everywhere. And it's not only digitalization and transformation, but we are experiencing a lot of disruption in many industries, in education, publishing, government, etc. So we thought about McCarthy developed that in the 60s, right? It's quite an old approach, although it has been, you're right, it has been developed in the 60s. Still, a lot of people, professors, colleagues, and practitioners are using because it is a very pragmatic approach: product, price, place, promotion. But that is only covering the operational aspect of marketing. That has been changed then later to the 4 C's, to put the customer first. So it was customer and convenience, etc., and communication and cost. And then some Harvard colleagues turned it to the SAFE model, which is basically all the same, right? Solution, access, value, education. But we thought there is more to it. In particular, we are working with Simon Sinek. You know, for example, Simon and the Y Academy and the Golden Circle. It's been one of the most downloaded TED Talks of all time. And Simon wrote a very important book, which is the Start with Why. And he said, few companies know, they know what they do, right? And they do it for profit, and that is fine, but they don't know why they do it. So they are lacking a higher purpose that is beyond profits. So we said that we need a toolkit for marketing strategy and leadership in general, which is going beyond that. And we invented the Pivotal Infinity Marketing Canvas and framework. It is an acronym. Pivotal means it's a changing point, it's a turning point, right? And the P is the purpose. The purpose that goes beyond, that's the purpose of the organization, that goes beyond making profits. So it's a higher purpose that has some CSR, some corporate social responsibility aspect to it, right? And so it started with a purpose, and then we look at the customer segment, and this is an idea which we took from the Professor Clayton Christensen and the Innovator's Dilemma book from the Harvard University, and also Professor Dr. Theodore Lewitt in the 60s already wrote about people don't want the product. They don't want quarter-inch drills. They want a hole in the wall to put on the wall a family picture to make their living room more familiar and more cozy and more emotional, etc. So we look at the customer segments, and then we look at their problems, right? That is the third step. And then we design innovative solutions. So the second letter is innovation. And then this is basically the old 4P, basically innovation. Then we have value proposition, right?
Yes.
V, O means outreach. So this is about communication. And T is transfer. And then at the crossroads, Left-hand side is the company, right, with a purpose and pivot and pivot. And then on the right-hand side of the customer side is coming transfer, which is also transfer is distribution. And then we are looking for advocacy and lifetime value. That is the A and the L. It says pivotal. So it makes sense. It's an acronym, and it represents purpose, innovation, value, outreach, transfer, advocacy, and lifetime value. And what we did for the first time ever in the history of strategy, we combined the company on the left-hand side in the canvas and the customer on the right-hand side. And we combined them, and you can see it on my sticker here. We combined it with the infinity symbol. And we call it Pivotal Infinity Marketing Canvas and Framework and Strategy. Because we are reflecting that there's not just an exchange. In the old models, you have, for example, value proposition canvas from Osterwalder. You have on the right-hand side the customer, on the left-hand side the company, and then you have pain points and gain creators or something like that. But this is a little bit suboptimal, because always the pain points are the inverted gains and the pain relievers and the gain creators, and there is no continuum, there's no exchange, there's no feedback. So we reflected that there is an exchange, continuous exchange between the company and the customer. They're connected through the infinity symbol, and at the crossroads, you have all around, you have the micro and macro environment. So we also take into consideration Porter's 5 forces or the pest analysis, etc., etc. So it's not only an operational tool, but it's really a tool to align a completely coherent strategy around purpose and also operational excellence. And what is very important, sorry, I explained that very lengthy, but it's very important to understand that on the right-hand side, where we have the advocacy and the lifetime value, is very important, because we are not looking for establishing a business with a customer. And I know in Arab, you understand that. At one moment in time, I don't want the customer to buy my laptop, to buy my car. That just is a once-off, which is what we call transactional marketing. But we want to turn customers and stakeholders into ambassadors. That is advocacy. And that is what we call also the customer lifetime value concept. You know about that. And therefore, the last one is lifetime value. We don't want to do it once off, because we want to do it in the long run, having a focus on the customer lifetime value. And then we have the feedback to the company again. So this is a very comprehensive model, and very, 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 very proud that Marshall Goldsmith, #1 executive coach, was calling it the future compass of management. And David Aker, you saw that on the cover probably, he stated that Pivotal will replace the 4 Ps and all other attempts to structure marketing and management. Yeah, it is a framework, like I said, to make sustainable growth happening. I was asked about when I was here in Delhi. I was invited by New Delhi Institute of Management to be honored as getting the first honorary, not PhD, but honorary professorship at the New Delhi Institute of Management. And one professor colleague was asking me, what is the most valuable asset, in your humble opinion, when it comes to management and marketing in general? And I said, curiosity, right? We have to be curious and stay curious like children. So you have to stay young at heart and curious to always discover new things. Coming back to the pivotal, and that's why we're always looking at things. And we are looking at the young generation, Generation Z and Alpha, and they are more looking for purpose. I have a lot of IT students. They don't want to work for the Big Four or for the Magnificent Seven companies, because they cannot identify. Google changed its credo. When Google was set up, they said, don't be evil. That is my motto, right? Because they said, oh, we are the nice guys. Because Microsoft, they are the evil guys. We are the Jedi now, and you see a lot of Star Wars here. we are the Jedi. I even have a nice, that's what I'm saying. So my my students did it for me. It's a 3 thing is here. Those people, the generation, is looking for purpose. It cannot be enough for social responsibility to just make profit for shareholders or to have decent salaries for the employees. But that is nothing new, by the way. That is what Elkington was putting forward in the 70s already when he was talking about the triple bottom line approach: people, planet, profit. People, planet, profit. And so companies can use this pivotal framework first to design products and services that are true to their mission, right? True to their purpose. You know the Simon Sinek circle. You have this why, right? Start with the why. That's the purpose of the organization. Then is how, and this is the mission, and what is the products, what they're doing, and companies have to do products and services that are true to their mission, to communicate that with authenticity and focus not, and that is what the model is creating awareness for, not on one-time sales, but long-term trust and advocacy. So in simple terms, Pivotal helps organizations live their purpose every day and turn it into measurable results. And we see that companies such as Patagonia are very successfully doing that. My idea, and so the canvas itself, because we wanted to, not from the ivory tower of university, and I'm also at the London School of Economics, Global Thought. No, we wanted to have a practical canvas. So yes. Osterwalder is not a professor, for example. Nevertheless, the value proposition canvas or the business model canvas are very, very useful and practical tools I used at the university as well. So we wanted to have some hands-on thing. And that is also what we did with social media marketing. We call it social media marketing, right? A practitioner approach. So because
this is what we are doing in
we need research, but everything needs to relate to real business, because people want to know, what can I do with that? What is the result out of that? So a theoretical model or framework shouldn't be too abstract to make people wonder on what's the application purpose here. So therefore, we designed this kind of canvas, and it's a protected kind of brand. Yes.
Yes.
So, but of course, we share that. Everybody is able to use that free of charge, right? Not for profit reasons. That is not what we're doing. But at a later stage, we are also doing this train the trainer. We are now setting up the first. I'm very proud about that. The first Opresnik Pivotal Thinking Institute at the New Delhi Institute of Management in Delhi, and we'll have the first executive training personally with me in Delhi, having a lot of people from the university, but also practitioners, to do a 3-day workshop on strategy tools, and in particular this Pivotal Infinity Marketing Canvas framework.
Yes. Here in live, Sana Hamid said, we want this book in Jordan.
Yes, so, we are doing that.
We are
First,
working.
We are working. Dr. Zidan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
What the people love about that, it's so simple to understand, and you can see it here that it starts with the purpose, and then on the canvas itself. This is not very good visible now. At the top, you have the customer segments, because you want to know, what is the customer segment? Is it B2B? Is it B2C? And particularly in B2C. And then you have the Lewitt approach, problems. It says problems. And you see it's a puzzle. We have icons. And then it says innovation, value, outreach, transfer. You have the intersection here. It says micro and macro environment. And then it says advocacy and lifetime value. And the beauty is that you cannot recognize that now. But if you look carefully at the colors of the letters, these colors, they represent the corresponding colors of the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations. Therefore, we are also, you see it here.
Yes.
We are the only book that is having the logo of the United Nations World Food Programme, and we are endorsed by the director of the World Food Programme Innovation Accelerator. So why is that? Because we are, for example, for every book that is being sold, we are donating 1 meal to 1 child in need. And we are just, we will bring it out in, this is the global edition, which is coming outside, which was published through my own company. But we will bring out in India now with the local publisher. and hopefully with your help, Dr. Zidan,
Yes, sure.
we will also, after social media, we'll also bring Pivotal to Jordan.
Yes. So also we have a comment from Ahmad. Ahmad said, yes, it is so good to have this book in Jordan to get benefit of it. So, inshallah, we were working about that.
We can already, if that is interesting for your market, of course, I'm totally open for that. We can already run an open executive training for 2-3 days in Jordan.
Yes.
And I bring the global edition because everybody. So we have a whole microcosm around that. You cannot believe that because what we have, it's much more than just a model. So I show you. So we have it here. So every sticker you see here, every pin. So I'm wearing on my blazer, is coming in this beautiful box with a canvas.
Wow,
right?
nice.
You see it here, and we also. I'm not kidding.
Yes, nice.
We made it. This is a box. There's a USB stick, and you can see the. It's a magnetic USB stick, and it has the canvas on it. So every participant is also getting that because
very nice. You are a
what we wanted
practical
to
man.
do, we wanted to make it a movement. We wanted to create awareness for the importance that it's so much more than just looking at only at one part of the coin, right? In particular, in the area in times of AI, because my students said they want to identify with a company, they want to have a higher purpose also in their work, because otherwise you're not dedicated to what you're doing. Right, and that has been tracked. That is, by the way, that is tracked regularly, and probably you're aware of that about the Gallup, coming from the Gallup Institute, who's always tracking in more than 55 countries what is the intrinsic motivation that people have for their jobs. And a lot of people, also in Germany, so only about 18% say, "Okay, I love what I do." Right, I was elaborating on that in my TEDx talk about personal development, how to become successful, and that is what Steve Jobs always said: you got to love what you do, and that is as true for your lovers as it is for your work, because work is filling out large parts of our lives. And therefore, I was also, and you sense that I was never regretting the step to become university professor, because my students in Cambridge, elite, they are asking, why did you leave Shell? Why did you give up your career? Because you were in global strategy in Shell International, right? And I said, no, I made a different step. I'm having a different career now, and I'm making people grow. I develop the potential of organizations, but moreover of people, help them grow and develop and become their personal best. And that is so intrinsically and enriching that I love to do that. I never regret that at one moment in time. Although I had my salary cut by more than 50% compared to Shell. Yeah, some companies are following this kind of framework and principle. So one of the a classic one, which we elaborated upon in the book, is Patagonia. You can also see, and you can show it to you. It's probably not so recognizable, but you can see how the canvas really works. This is a screenshot of a collaboration, of a digital collaboration board for Patagonia, which says how you work with the canvas. So you do that electronically. You can also do it with a meta plan, and you fill it out, right? And this is reflecting everything in strategy, operational marketing. So it's a very comprehensive model. That is the beauty of it. And everybody loves this idea of exchange, because you have this customer journey in there. You have this touch point management in here. You have a macro environment in here, et cetera, et cetera. You have the pest analysis in here. So one company's, so Patagonia, of course, is doing that to a very great extent. And you know that the founder and CEO of Patagonia, he said that Planet Earth is our only shareholder now. So every profit that Patagonia is doing, right, is going into the fight against climate change. And people buy into that. So one of the campaigns we listed, it's actually one of the most successful campaigns of all time. Patagonia is saying, okay, we are stressing sustainability. And then a lot of people are saying, yeah, okay, everybody's doing that somehow. But what Patagonia said, one of the most successful campaigns of all time in marketing across categories was Patagonia campaign, and they had a print campaign, and it says, "Don't buy this jacket." And then there was a new Patagonia jacket listed, and they said, "We are caring for sustainability, but the most sustainable jacket is the one you put on again. You put on again." And therefore, we supported that. They did a repair service, so people can bring their broken Patagonia jackets or the hole or something, and they repair it free of charge. And that is what people love, because people love to be part of something greater than just a product, right? It's about they buy into this kind of purpose and this higher purpose. And that is also what I don't want to recount everything that Simon Sinek was doing in his TEDx talk, but it is exactly also what he was elaborating on, what attracted people to Apple. Because about this purpose of not beautiful products, but making things easy to use, helping support productivity and interconnectivity of people. And one more recent example that is not so known is, and that is a great example because it's just been set up a couple of years ago, is Allbirds. Allbirds, they have a nice claim, and they're saying Mother Nature made us do it. And that is their mission. And they are producing sneakers made completely out of eucalyptus wood and sheep wool, for example. So it's totally renewable. And this is great. So all Hollywood superstars are wearing Allbirds. You have to Google that. And that is lovely. And then even some other companies are coming and saying, copying them and don't want to work with them. I think so, because probably not in the first place, because, of course, it's a journey, because that is also behind this concept of customer lifetime value. That is also the example of Amazon. Amazon is very much focusing on that approach. So the customer lifetime value concept, let me quickly elaborate on that. So first you have acquisition cost, and then in the subsequent years you have profits, and you discount them, right? So yes, you calculate the customer lifetime value. And Amazon is doing that in the long run. So a customer may be not profitable in the first year, in the second year, in the third year, but then over and over again, and if you look at your, at least I'm guilty, if I look at my track record, what I purchased at Amazon 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 4 years ago, it has been steadily increasing, because I was always satisfied with the kind of delivery, the service, if something is not correct, etc., etc. And that is what the pivotal Infinity Marketing Canvas model also creates awareness for, to focus not on a transaction, not on one moment in time, but on the relationship. Because in the end, what can you copy? As always, you can copy everything. Every company wants to be different. Every company wants to stand out from competition. Yes. But how can you actually do? Because everything that is successful is copied in an ever shorter period amount of time. When Apple was launching iPad in 2011, Samsung was copying it after 4 weeks. And Apple take them to court and say, oh, your iPad, your Galaxy tablet looks exactly like the iPad. And courts, the judges, prohibited Apple, prohibited Samsung to sell the Galaxy tablet. But Samsung changed the corner slightly, made it a little bit thicker, changed the display a little bit, and another 4 weeks later, they were allowed to sell it. So what I'm saying is you can copy everything. You can copy design, warranty, functionality. When Siri was introduced, Samsung came with Bixby, Microsoft came with Cortana, etc., etc. And now look at AI development. Everything is copied in an ever shorter period amount of time. The only thing what you cannot copy is the brand and what the brand stands for, and the relationships. The relationship you set up over time for all stakeholders, for the company, for the society, for the customer, etc., etc. The model really does. It creates awareness for the importance of that kind of thinking, moving away from this short-term orientation. And I know in the Arab world, you understand that, because yes, you value the asset of really strong relationships.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for your time. We have some question for you. The first from Muhammad, ask you, Doctor, is there a future for e-commerce in the Middle East? We see yes, but what's the future of e-commerce?
Yeah, it's definitely there is, and what we can see, of course, is also that e-commerce is dramatically changing and evolving in times of AI. And now you can see it looking at different kind of companies, such as Shein, for example. In the past, I can give you only one example. In the past, there was fashion, then there was fast fashion, and people say, okay, H&M, that is fast fashion. But now we have this ultra fast fashion, which is on the table coming from Shein and ASOS. So they are using AI and bots to scan the Instagram in particular, but also TikTok, and then instantaneously produce low charges of products, right, in factories in China, and then they're selling outside of the factory, so there is no intermediary in between. And then they, when demand is there, they are manufacturing in more numbers. So we see e-commerce dramatically evolving, and it will be more and more important as more and more devices, technical things are interconnected, and we have this Internet of Everything. Right? I can talk to my car and ask the car, ask the fridge how much milk is left in the fridge, right, in the cooler. So and I can then ask the car to order. I can already do that now at Amazon Pantry to reorder milk, so the milk is there. And we'll see that to a great extent. We'll see that to a great extent. In particular, what we can envisage is already that we will have some operating device. It may not be a smartphone. So Fraunhofer, for example, and those people, they are saying that it's not likely to be a smartphone. It could be some kind of wearable. And then we are talking, which is exchanging that, as you can now, of course, also talk to ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever, right? You can just talk to that like being in person.
We have a question from Mahmoud from Jordan. How many countries has this book been published in?
It has basically every country.
Every country.
Because yes, there's a global edition. It's been published through my company on Amazon.com.
Good.
And
nice.
Yeah, it's globally available on Amazon.com, or as printing on demand. It's not available in all countries because that depends on Amazon, because this printing on demand feature is only offered in a couple of countries, right?
Yes.
But as an ebook, it's already available, of course, globally. But that is what we always have with Professor Kotler as well. We call that glocal. We think globally, but we act locally. So that is why we are working with Dr. Zidan to bring. Also, we have that. We have a Vietnamese edition for social media. We have an Italian version for social media marketing, and therefore we will also have with local publishers. We will have local editions of this book to make it available in those markets. Otherwise, it would be also too expensive for people in India, for example, to order the paperback version on Amazon.com. With the terrorists and Trump, so it could be very expensive. But we want to make it, we want to give it to the world, share it.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for your time and for this good live. And from my side and the Arab people, thank you for you remember the Arab people for the book to do it in Jordan edition, the first Jordan edition, and next we will Lebanon and Saudi Arabia. And I think the Arab or local cases will make change of some approach in Middle East after we study the case study, our case study. Yes.
Also having the first trainings there and meeting some people in Jordan. Shukran.
Shukran. Goodbye.
Ma salama.